There's something uniquely terrifying about the idea of seeing yourself from the outside, or hearing a voice you know belongs to someone you love, only to realize they're not actually there.
Across cultures, folklore, and modern paranormal encounters, two entities come up over and over again: doppelgangers and mimics. They're often lumped together, but paranormally speaking, they are very different experiences, and differences matter.
Today, we're breaking down what separates a doppelganger from a mimic, why both are considered extremely bad news, and why encounters with either tend to leave people shaken long after they're over.
I will say it is one of my greatest fears to see either myself or someone I know who isn't quite right.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Like, it is one of my greatest fears to know that, like, I can sense something is not right about somebody, but I can't place it, and I'm just having to deal with that person.
Oh my gosh. Well, we talked about this in another episode where it was like, how would we decipher which one was who? And then I think
forgot the code word.
I think it was the code word from health class.
Oh, ice cream.
Hi, hello.
Welcome.
Welcome back, or welcome if you are new.
I'm Denisha.
I am Ashley.
And this is the Afterlife Hotline.
Woo!
You know what would be hilarious? I just had this thought. Well, did you ever watch? You watched the Amanda Bynes show, right?
Yes.
This is the girls' room.
This is the Afterlife Hotline.
I don't know why that popped in my head.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it.
So today we're talking doppelgangers and mimics.
Heck yeah.
But let's start with doppelgangers. The word doppelganger comes from German and is literally translated to double walker. Historically, seeing your own doppelganger is considered one of the worst omens a person can experience. Across many cultures, encountering your double is believed to signal death, severe illness, or a major
Catastrophe.
Yeah. What is going on? Either for the person who sees it or someone close to them.
What's important here is that doppelgangers are not usually described as physical, biological copies. In folklore, there's something else entirely. They're often seen as a mirror image of the self, a soul double, or a distorted reflection of who you are.
In Norse and Germanic folklore, especially seeing your double is considered a direct omen of death. There are stories of people seeing their own doppelganger shortly before dying, falling gravely ill soon after the encounter.
Scandinavian traditions also describe something called the Vardoger.
I should have looked that word up.
Vodoger. Probably going to be like Vardoger. Or something like really hard to say. Are you fucking kidding me? Exactly how I just said it. Okay. Yeah, no, it's exactly how I just said it, but I'm not going to say it like that again. Vardoger. Known, oh my freaking gosh, as the... Voldurger. Known as the...
Whoa! I should have been more thorough with my pronunciation go through.
I mean, I could have done the same thing. As the Aitiayan in Finnish folklore. This is a ghostly double that appears before a person arrives. People might hear footsteps, voices, or even see someone who looks exactly like a person, only for the real person to show up later. I will freak the fuck out.
And that alone raises the unsettling question. Is the double following the person or leading them? Even when death isn't explicitly involved, doppelgangers are almost always associated with extreme bad luck or long-term misfortune. The experience is rarely neutral. It is ominous, unsettling, and deeply personal.
Mm-hmm. Outside of paranormal explanations, psychologists sometimes describe these encounters as autoscopy, a rare hallucinatory phenomenon where the brain creates an image of the self. But even in scientific cases, the experience is often described as disturbing, emotional, and difficult to explain. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do if I saw myself.
How do you explain seeing your, like, it's not the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah. I mean, I've read where they say, like, everybody has a doppelganger, like, there's someone out there that's going to look like you, but how do twins feel? Like, I know they grow up with them, but, like, how do you feel looking literally at yourself every single day?
I don't know. Christopher?
That's weird.
Write that in the comments.
But I feel like they look just enough, like, different.
Now?
Yeah, when they were younger, they definitely looked a lot alike. Yeah. Didn't you say there was only a way that they were able to...
John has a birthmark.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And now he has a tattoo, so now you can definitely differentiate
Right.
them.
If you're a twin, I know it's probably normal for you, but, like, is it weird seeing you
How do people
every single day?
act whenever they, like, do they get you too confused?
I honestly, I was thinking about this the other day because I think I saw a TikTok video where a mom had, like, twins or something. I fear that I would get them mixed up.
Well, that's like in Harry Potter. They literally, Fred and George literally play a trick on their mom where she's like, all right, it's your turn. And they're like, I'm not Fred, he is.
Yeah, because there's that one little video where the dad's trying to yell for the other little boy, and then the name he's yelling is the little boy who's standing in front of him, and he's just like, I'm right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then dad's yelling for him. He's like, wait, are you so-and-so or are you so-and-so? He goes, I'm so-and-so. And he's like, oh. Like, I would have to have something literally on them at all times to mark who was who. Who. Yup.
In literature, doppelgangers are frequently used as symbols of inner conflict. Edgar Allan Poe's William Wilson is one of the most famous examples, where the doppelganger represents guilt, moral failure, and the darker side of the self.
I did not know that. That is interesting. And that's the key. Doppelgangers are about you. They reflect the self, your fate, your psyche, and your soul. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't put that correlation together about the doppelganger reflecting, like, what's going on within you.
Yeah. I'm very torn about the doppelganger thing because I guess I'm almost assuming that it's considered a doppelganger if you're still alive.
Yeah.
Because the videos that I've seen and, like, the one that I sent you that triggered me to want to do this episode, people were seeing, like, their past loved ones. Like, the main one that I saw was a girl had lost her father, and she literally saw her dad, a guy who looked exactly like her dad, at the grocery store walking to his car.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if technically that would be considered a doppelganger, or if maybe that's just, like, a sign from the universe, like, hey, you know, I'm doing okay, or, you know, whatever, just giving them the sign or the comfort that they need in that moment.
See, but then there's the other kind of the spectrum.
Because
like
those aren't bad.
Yeah.
Those aren't, they're not bad interactions.
And then there's me who watched a scary movie when she was a child and then literally saw the killer everywhere I went.
Oh.
And it wasn't like a mass killer. It was the remake of Prom Night with Brittany Snow in it. Which, by the way, those kinds of movies, one, they freak you out about your dances, but two, they set you up for failure because our proms were not like that.
Yeah.
In these extravagant places. But anyway, basically, if you're unfamiliar with the movie, she's in high school. There's a creepy stalker teacher who is obsessed with her. He gets arrested or something he murders her entire family trying to find her. And then he gets arrested and he's put away. He escapes prison on her prom night. And the officers are, like, trying not to ruin her life because she's living with her aunt and uncle. And they go tell the aunt and the uncle she's left for prom. So they, you know, put people all around, and one thing ends to another, and basically he gets killed later on, but she had to go through the traumatic experience again. But I saw that man everywhere I went for like a solid week straight.
Yeah, the brain is a weird thing. The brain is such a weird thing.
I remember sitting, because it was back when I lived in North Carolina, and I don't know that my parents ever knew this, but so they had knives and swords and stuff like that, collector's items all over the walls and stuff. But there was one katana that was on the ground, and I would, like, if I was home alone, that stayed by my side. I don't know what I would have done with it as a kid, but I was like, This weirdo ain't getting me.
I could see Baby Niche be like, I'm a stabby you if you come up to me.
Like, you're going, die, motherfucker.
This little Baby Niche, die, motherfucker, die.
Probably.
Tana. Oh my God. That's so funny. No, the brain is a weird thing. This is totally irrelevant to like the whole doppelganger thing, but there for like a good while, I don't know what triggered it, but I'm still slightly afraid of death, but I was afraid of falling asleep for the longest time. Like I would literally almost have a panic attack every single time I went to go to bed, or I would just be, not looking forward to going to bed because I was so afraid to fall asleep and go to sleep.
For a good while there right before I had gotten my medication and my diagnosis.
Thank God for medication.
Honestly. But when I was going through the really, really bad part of it, I couldn't go to sleep because if I went to sleep, I would wake up. You know that feeling whenever you wake up jolted like you were falling?
Yeah.
I would feel that like every 2 minutes. Like that's how I would wake up. I would go to sleep feeling fine, and then all of a sudden I would wake up like that, and it was repetitive. I could not fall asleep.
I could be completely wrong, but I think I read somewhere that your body does that because it thinks that it's dying.
Yeah. And so since I've been medicated, it happens on rare occasions whenever I am more stressed out.
Yeah.
But now I'm able to manage it a lot better, and I'll quickly take a hydroxyzine and knock the fuck out.
I'm wondering if it's just because like either your brain or your body's falling asleep faster than the other one can keep up with, and then it's just like, hold on, what are we doing? And it wakes you up.
But it seems to only happen for me now. Like at that point in time, I was going through my biggest mental down spiral, the one that pushed me to get seen.
Yeah.
And now it just seems to only happen whenever I'm extra stressed out. But it was, that's why I was going to work with Chris, because I wasn't sleeping at night and I knew I wasn't going to be a harm to myself. But it was a point where I was so delirious from not sleeping that I didn't know what was going to happen. So I was like, I need to be somewhere where I'm watched.
Yeah, for sure. Even if it's just not just to make sure that you don't do anything, it's just so that way you feel comfortable that you're with somebody.
And I would nap for 2 hours at his work too.
Yeah.
Get at least some sleep.
Yeah.
Kudos, thank you to him and his dad for allowing me to be there. They don't care anyway, but for a good week I think I was there.
And this is your sign. If you need help with anything, don't ever be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly. Please ask.
Yes. Well, this is where mimics often get confused with doppelgangers.
Both involve something that looks or sounds human. Both create a sense of uncanny recognition, but the intent behind them is very different.
Because while doppelgangers reflect the self, mimics Because while doppelgangers reflect the self, mimics imitate others.
And that difference changes everything.
Sorry, we lost our second light. Will this make a difference?
Hey!
We don't need light.
Wowie, wow.
Ashley, this is your recorded self telling you to charge your shit before you guys record. The night before.
I'm going to start, you know what, actually?
Stop it.
I'm going to start texting you every time we're like, okay, are we filming tomorrow? Yeah, okay. Plug your shit in, bitch. Plug it in. Don't sit there and be on the... I'll text Steven too. I'll call Steven and be like, hey, go make her plug her shit is plugged in.
You will too.
Because I know sometimes we'll be saying something to each other and we'll be like, oh yeah, we'll do that in a second. And I know because I do it too. We'll both be wherever we are comfortable and we're like, we'll do it later. And then that never happens.
Yeah.
Paranormally, mimics are often described as some of the most disturbing entities people report encountering. They're typically viewed as predatory, malevolent, or trickster-like beings. And in some beliefs, they are even considered demonic.
Mm-hmm. What makes mimics especially unsettling is how they disguise themselves. Instead of appearing as a full, recognizable person right away, they're said to copy human voices, laughter, or familiar sounds to lure people in. Hell no. To the no.
There's a video I sent you. I think I told you about it, but it was mimicking their phone alarm.
What the fuck?
Until it could get it right.
I don't like that.
I'll have to find it again and send it to you.
You know, a part of me, because I full-heartedly believe in all this stuff, part of me is always just like, oh, I wish, I don't want to say it out loud, know what, that's like. But then a part of me is like, No, I'm good.
Well, have you... Oh, that was right.
Sorry, am I freaking
ever...
you out?
Have you ever had it where you think somebody's talking to you and they're not?
I feel like sometimes I hear things, but I think it's in my head.
Because I know, like, sometimes I'll think Chris is talking to me, and I'll full on hear him talking to me, but he's not. That's why they also tell you to never, like, if you hear somebody knocking at your door, but nobody's there, don't answer it.
Yeah, because then you're letting them in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. I just recently saw a TikTok video where, really quick, the mom's son, and there's no reason why this kid would have been lying about this. I mean, he literally came flying up to his mom, and he was freaking the fuck out because he said he heard his sister outside yelling help. And then he's just like, but she wasn't home. Mm-hmm. And then he kept hearing his dad responding to it outside. And so the lady's just like, this happens all the time, but this doesn't normally happen during the day. And it's broad daylight. And this kid's hearing this happening outside. And she's asking the husband to, like, come home, mm-hmm. because obviously he's not home. And she's like, are you sure? He goes, yes, I heard sister and I heard dad. That sounded exactly like them. And the dogs were even at, like, the window and the door, and they were freaking the fuck out. And there was, like, whistling and all this. Like, oh, no. Mm-mm. No. N-O.
Oh. I was like, what? No, you literally spelled no. It's almost always someone you trust. People report hearing a loved one calling for help, like she just said, a parent calling their name, mm-hmm. a partner speaking from another room, only to realize that the person isn't actually there.
Creepy. Nope. Many reports describe mimics as masters of deception. They don't just imitate voices, they may also appear as vague, human-shaped silhouettes. And unlike doppelgangers, which are often silent or passive, mimics actively engage. So I wonder if they're kind of considered like shadow people too.
Maybe.
Oh. Common belief is that mimics feed on fear and paranoia, growing stronger the longer someone acknowledges or responds to them. That's why they say if you hear it, no you don't. Don't engage.
I wonder if Pennywise is technically a mimic.
Probably.
Because he can shapeshift into whatever, and he can make voices and drains, and...
He's just his own entity. I mean, he's probably a mixture of them all.
He is an alien, technically.
Yeah, so he's probably a mixture of them all. Mixture of all of your nightmares.
Your worst fears.
Yeah.
He feasts on your fear while he feeds on your flesh.
Honestly, yep. Exactly.
Visually, there's a detail that comes up again and again. While mimics can perfectly replicate a voice, they seem to struggle with faces. Okay, so he's not a mimic.
Oh.
Witnesses frequently describe them as blurry, faceless, or having distorted features, especially when seen directly or in proper lighting.
Well, that would make sense because if they can get the faces correct, that would make them a doppelganger.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what separates the two. Well, obviously, and it says the doppelgangers aren't as malevolent as they're just a bad omen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like they can get the outline right, but not the details that make someone human.
Because you ain't human.
Honestly.
They're also widely believed to be dangerous. According to many accounts, the goal is to lure people into isolated or vulnerable situations. Some interpretations suggest mimics may even act as guards or servants for more powerful entities, drawing victims in on their behalf. I don't like that.
Similar beings appear across cultures under different names. In some African American traditions, particularly within the Navajo folklore, aggressive shape-shifting entities like skinwalkers, known as the Yenadulshi, share overlapping traits. It's important to note these entities exist within a very specific cultural and spiritual context, but the similarities are still striking.
Some reports also link mimic encounters to use of the Ouija boards or other practices believed to invite entities in, suggesting mimics may take advantage of open or unprotected spiritual spaces, which that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
A lot of sense.
Because you're not guaranteed the person that you're trying to reach out for. And oftentimes a lot of people say that you're not going to reach that person. You're just going to reach whatever can imitate that person.
Yeah, because a lot of them will pretend to be like either kids, a loved one, or whatever, and then it ends up they're not being... who they say that they are. That's scary. That's also another reason why I'm very, very, very terrified to ever touch a Ouija board, because you don't know who you're communicating with. You have to have some major boundaries and protection with that type of stuff.
Yeah, don't be like young Denisha. Leave that shit alone.
And don't feed it macaroni and cheese.
It asked for it. It literally asked.
This bitch.
We were going to leave, so we went to close out. You weren't there.
It
was me and a group of other
friends.
I
would have definitely remembered if I was there.
And we were closing it down, and we hadn't said anything about the fact that we were going to go make mac and cheese, and it spelled out mac and cheese. And so one of the girls was
that
like,
means it could read your mind.
And so one of the girls was like, would you like a bowl of mac and cheese? And it said yes. And so we said our goodbyes. We made it a bowl of mac and cheese. We put it in that room, and there was nothing else in that room because I had like a whole little hallway to myself. And that room was basically like just our hangout room with literally, it was empty. And I left it in there, and it moved. There were a couple times where I'd come in and it had moved. Now, I don't know if it was my mom playing jokes on me. I don't know. But it never got moldy either. And it was in there for a good while.
Lots of preservatives in that mac and cheese.
It was Velveeta.
Oh.
If that tells you anything.
It probably just dried out.
Probably. So, yeah, don't be like me. Don't feed it mac and cheese. Common experiences include hearing a loved one calling for help when they aren't nearby, hearing familiar laughter or voices inside an empty house, seeing what looks like a reflection of someone you know, except something feels deeply wrong, and the biggest red flag people mention, it's not just fear. It's the certainty that whatever you're interacting with isn't human.
Also, they must be very... intelligent to an extent, because if they can figure out how to imitate like your loved one, so they know that you're more than likely going to interact with it because it is a loved one, that makes it pretty intelligent.
It also makes me think of was it the movie Truth or Dare, where it like takes them over. So essentially they play this demonic game of Truth or Dare, and it's to the point where like every so many people, like, you have to do a dare, and the dare is almost always life-threatening. But if you don't, like, it gets this, like, creepy, like, it takes over, and it gets this inhuman, like, smile to their faces whenever you're doing truth or dare. And if you don't do it, you will die.
Is that where that filter comes from?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the
creepy grin filter with the red eyes? Yes.
That's from Truth or Dare?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I've been tempted to do one of those makeup videos to see if I can, like... Keep my face straight and not trigger it. And I just find it so funny because they do each step with it, and to see how far they can get in this step. And the one girl, she kept triggering. She goes, no! And she's like,
do it.
It's on
TikTok, I think.
Is it on TikTok?
You might be able to find it either way.
Interesting. Yeah. No. Which one would you rather encounter? Well... I think I would rather encounter a mimic, because doppelgangers, it says that 9 times out of 10, it's like a bad omen that you're going to die.
Or that someone you know is going to die.
I'd rather just deal with a mimic. Although I feel like the mimic would make me feel like I'm going crazy.
I think I would rather a doppelganger.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'd rather see myself in a non-malevolent way and have misfortune come across me than to have a malicious entity try to be someone I love. Because then also, like, if you have to then try to defend yourself against that entity, you're then having to go through the traumatic experience of, like, trying to essentially off the not person.
Well, if what they say is true, the mimics, they can't really get the faces right, so you'd be able to tell that it's not your person.
But it would still be a very traumatic experience. So, like, envision, like, if somebody thinks something was mimicking me, and then you're going to have to sit there and try to defend yourself against the not me, that's going to be hard to do. Never mind a parent or something like that. It's going to be a traumatic experience.
What's our code word? What's our code word?
What's our fucking code word, bitch? But it's going to be a very traumatic experience one way you take it. And so I would rather the misfortune fall on me than the traumatic, lifelong devastation of me killing the not person.
Oh,
but that could also just be horror movies speaking to me.
Probably.
You know?
That probably.
Like, I do watch a lot of them.
Probably. But I don't know. I don't know how I would even react to if, like, I was to hear you or, like, dad or somebody, knowing that you're not there with me, but, like, hearing your voice outside being like, help. Like, how do you not respond to that?
Right.
unless you just absolutely know it's not them.
Well, I think it also depends on the situation too. Like,
Unless obviously it's like I'm at my apartment and dad's like all the way at his house.
Yeah.
Like I clearly know that's not dad.
yeah. And I feel like that's where it kind of has its problems, is like, you're going to know in a typical sense. Now, it probably waits until you're in a vulnerable state.
Yeah.
So, like, in the movie Into the Forest, or I think it's just The Forest or something like that, but they're going to Suicide Forest.
Yeah.
She's trying to get her twin sister. And it's a paranormal-based movie, and she winds up hearing those voices and stuff like that. Now, it waited until she was vulnerable and in a scared state, and so obviously she's going to not think rationally.
Yeah. It preys on ya.
So, like,
That's not nice.
and an example of when we got scared, when we heard that random ass scream, like, it could have come and like been like, help me, help me, help me.
Yeah.
And we maybe would have looked out the window, but I don't think we would have gone out.
Hell no.
But like, at that point in time, that would have been a good.
I've been calling my dad. I'd be like, Dad, there's someone out here. But also Holly was with us at this.
Yeah,
at
and
the
she
same
wasn't
time.
freaking out.
No.
But like, if that was a mimic, that would have been its opportune time to then come for us.
There was, I don't know if it was, I think it might have been a story that I heard on another podcast, but it was along the lines of like, so the guy was out in the woods and then somebody came up to him and, you know, he was like, hey, are you good? Are you good? And he's like holding his gun or whatever. And the person was going like, help me, help me. But then he realized like the mouth wasn't matching up with what they were saying. Oh, that gives me chills. It wasn't matching up with what the person was saying. And he was just like, it was literally as if the person was just mimicking the last thing that they heard. Yeah. Yeah. The part that got me was like that the mouth wasn't matching
Moving
up.
right,
And
yeah.
he's just like, the person was just kind of like, and they were screaming like, help me,
Yeah.
help me. And he,
It's almost like a broken record.
oh, no. Well, we have some stories. to
As
read.
always.
Yes. This one's kind of a long one. So buckle up. Sorry. Not sorry.
Buckle up, buttercups.
Buckle
You're
up.
in for a long one.
This one says, a mimic tried to lure me out. Demonic activity. I lived in the same house my entire childhood and teenage life. In that time, I experienced countless paranormal / unexplained events, many of which being from what I've heard people called mimics. The house owned by my father was fairly new, built in the 80s, and as far as I know, no one ever died in the house or on the property. However, I have heard locals talk about how the surrounding location was where Native American tribes used to live. So I've kind of always chalked up any activity to that. I have several experiences I could recount for, but for now, I'll share one of the most bone-chilling. Upvote if you want to hear more. This was off of Reddit. Once I reached about 13 years old, my parents started letting me stay home alone with my older brother, who was about 2 years ahead of me, and on the days they were at work. However, since my brother was in sports, he usually wouldn't get home from school until about 1.5 to 2 hours after I had. I would get dropped off on the bus, and he'd come home on his bike after practice. Anyways, as I mentioned above, my whole life I experienced weird activity in that house. I want to say my first encounter was about 5 years old. So at 13 years old, I had seen enough to be creeped out whenever I was home alone. Oh, I'd be like, can we move?
Mm-hmm.
Also, whenever I was home alone, the energy always felt so much stronger. I'd walk in the house and my hair would practically stand up straight. So on the days both my parents were at work, I developed this routine of checking the house with a knife before locking myself in the bathroom with it and playing games on my phone until I heard my brother get home. Sounds like a Denisha thing. With the katana.
I didn't trap myself in the bathroom, though.
It's kind of odd I'd gravitate towards the bathroom, but I think I did because it's well-lit, small-sized room with a door that locked. Valid. Also, with a wall always to my back, it eliminated the possibility of something creeping up behind me. Logic. Everywhere else in the house felt like something was breathing down my neck, so the bathroom became my safe space. One day, about an hour into my routine bathroom hideaway, I hear the signature squeak of the side door leading from the garage into the house. I then hear what sounds like my brother's footsteps walking into the main area / kitchen of the house, throwing his keys down on the table and letting out one of his loud identifiable burps. Kind of funny how you can always tell which family member it is by the sound of their footsteps and the noises of their gas, but I digress. Finally, I think to myself, feeling a wave of relief wash over me now that someone's finally home, and I can stop hiding in the bathroom with a knife. I set my phone down and stand up, ready to leave the bathroom, but the moment my hand reaches for the doorknob to unlock it and step out to say hi, a chill runs through me. Something instinctual was telling me to pump the brakes. Something was not right. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it was almost like when you see an image that looks real, but then upon further inspection, you realize it's AI. IDK, that's the best way I can describe it. It just felt eerily artificial in a way. Maybe it's because my brother would always come in through the front door, not the garage. Also, he'd keep his keys in his room and not on the table. I don't know. Something about it just wasn't lining up. Kudos to you for like acknowledging all of the differences like that. So I texted my brother, "Are you home?" To which he immediately replied, "No, leaving practice now." My blood ran cold. And as soon as I read his message, all the noise in the main area of the house stopped. For a moment, it was dead quiet, and then all of a sudden, I heard the kitchen stools getting dragged across the tile floor. Not thrown, not shoved. Like someone was picking up the edge of a stool and quickly walking it out of the kitchen to the living room. House is an open concept. I immediately texted my brother back saying there's someone in the house. Just then, I hear my dog leap onto the couch, the cushions making the familiar squeak, and she starts growling and snarling at something. My ass would be rushing out of that bathroom because I'd be like, don't you be fucking with my dog. I'm sitting in the bathroom, silently crying my eyes out, gripping the knife I have with me like it's my lifeline, and being careful to not make a peep of noise. At this point, it sounded like stuff is being tossed around. My dog is barking like crazy at something. Naturally, I'm confused because I vividly heard my brother just a moment ago, but now it sounds like a massively large man is something around the house. I would have called the police, but this felt supernatural, and I didn't want to look like a lunatic if the police showed up and found nothing. A few minutes of this noise goes by and then ceases immediately when my brother texts me, "I'm home now, about to walk in." I hear him come in the front door and say something like, "Hello, no one is here," so I decided to come out. After I stepped out of the bathroom, I thought for sure the house would be a total mess from all the racket I just heard. But to my shock, everything was exactly as I left it. Nothing was out of place, damaged, or even touched. The garage door that I heard swing open, it was locked from the inside the whole time. It never budged. The only sign that something was off was my dog, who was still on the couch with her fur standing up looking terrified. This was almost 10 years ago now, but recounting this still chokes me up and gives me goosebumps. I've come to the conclusion that a mimic or a demon of some sort was trying to lure me out of the bathroom that day. And when I didn't take the bait, it got angry and became aggressive. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I've encountered a mimic a few times in this house. I'll share those if anyone is interested. Side note, I feel the need to add that I am not schizophrenic, nor is anyone in my family. I also was not on any drugs.
Yeah, I'd have been out that house.
Hell no. No.
You would not catch me sleeping in that motherfucker again.
And this is why I always believe you should have some sort of animal, because they can alert you and let you know. And the fact that the dog was
still terrified,
freaking the fuck out, there was something there.
Yeah.
Something there.
So this one was, my mom saw my stepdad, and I found it on Reddit. We stayed in this extremely old, creepy cabin in Montana. It was in the middle of nowhere, and it was so old that it didn't even have a bathroom, just an outhouse.
Oh, jeez.
There was a rope that went from the cabin to the outhouse so you could navigate back and forth at night, because it was pitch black. The cabin was super unsettling and had some strange details about it. The strangest being that there was this really tall bed in the upstairs loft where you had to climb the stairs to get to the bed, and under the bed was this child-sized door that locked from the outside. It was really just bizarre. So one night, my mom's dead asleep when she wakes up out of the blue feeling afraid. She opens her eyes to see my stepdad just staring at her with freakishly wide eyes and a scary grin. She said he looked horrifying.
I threw a punch him.
He said, "How are you feeling?" This makes sense because the first day we got there, she was really sick and stayed that way the entire trip. It sucked because there were no hospitals nearby. As soon as he muttered this, she heard footsteps approaching. When she looked to see who was coming up the stairs, it was none other than my stepdad. He had gone to use the outhouse and was confused when she told him what had happened. She turned back to see who was in the bed with her, but nobody was there. It scared the shit out of her, and we left the next morning. She also felt better within hours of getting back on the road.
Yeah, no. If I woke up and Steven was staring at me with wide eyes and like a grin, I'd throat punch him.
Yeah.
No questions asked. I'd be like, what the fuck?
The fact that it was in the bed with her, though.
I don't like that. No. Okay. Say, this one is, I saw my dad's doppelganger. I'm 22 now, but this happened in 2012 when I was 15. It was a weekend and I was in my room just watching videos and texting and doing whatever. Anyways, I come out of my room to go find something to eat and I see my dad. It's around 2 p.m. and I'm like, hi. And he's rummaging through the kitchen doing stuff. I ask him, did you get out of work early? And he just says yes. So I get some chips and I go back upstairs to my room. Nothing out of the ordinary, just my dad come home early. Anyways, about 3 hours later, I go back downstairs to get more snacks, and I see my dad go through the front door and walk straight to the kitchen. And I'm puzzled, so I ask him, what? Did you leave again? And he's like, what? I just came home. And I was like, no, I saw you earlier. And he denied it and just looked at me like I was crazy. And sure enough, he had his lunch bag and everything from work still with him. And I was like, Dad, I swear I saw you come home earlier. Are you sure? And he swore he was just getting home now. Anyways, to this day, he denies it, and to this day, I swear I saw him before. It's strange because my dad is extremely Christian and religious, so he wouldn't do anything like this to prank me. It was just odd. As the year went by, I wonder if I really may have seen his doppelganger. I have had other paranormal experiences, but this one was my only non-ghostly one. Thoughts?
No.
I don't think it was malevolent, though.
No.
Whatever it was.
I don't think it was malevolent. I think
Just rummaging through the kitchen. Like,
It
oh, did
was
you get home
probably
early?
hungry.
Yes. Honestly. I was like, oh, did you get home early? Yeah. Just rummaging through the door. Like, didn't try to lure you, no nothing. Just let you go back up to your room. It'd still be freaked the fuck out, knowing that my dad actually was not home. But I don't think it was malevolent, though.
Well, because, I mean, that'd be the difference between a doppelganger and mimic.
Yeah.
Like, in your first one, that was definitely malevolent.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next and final one was I saw my partner's old van and then some. So this one was on Reddit. This one said, I had a pretty interesting one. My partner, who passed away in 2020, had a VW van. He decorated it with stickers on one side of the windows. Last year, I was driving through my village, and at some point, I look in my rearview mirror to see a van that looked just like his following behind me. It caught my attention because the van had been sold to a family who lived 4 hours away. I slowed down for the van to catch up to me so I could get a better look. My heart dropped when I noticed the driver looked exactly like my past partner. Not only that, but the passenger looked exactly like me. We finally came to a crossroad where I turned left and they went straight on. I could see the exact same stickers as they drove off. I absolutely freaked out and pulled my car over to calm down. Extremely weird, and I think about it every day.
That's like a slip of a timeline.
Yeah,
or
a lot of
something.
people in the comments back to it were thinking that it was because time isn't linear. A lot of people were thinking it was a time situation.
Yeah, like a time slip or something. Because it's one thing if you see the van and you see your partner,
But to see both of
to see
them,
yourself in that van as well. Yeah, I think that was like a time slip. I'd freak out. I would have an existential
a crisis,
a crisis,
a Mary crisis,
a very bad crisis.
Yeah, I had
existential.
Yeah,
Is that the word?
yeah. I had to put that one in there just because it was just creepy enough, but I definitely feel like it was time related.
Yeah, definitely creepy because you see yourself too. No, but then does that mean that you saw your doppelganger?
Well, I don't know if it's a time slip. Is that considered a doppelganger?
Yeah,
though?
I don't know.
Because it very well could have been them, and like a what is it like with Gettysburg, like a residual energy?
Yeah, that's
like maybe
true.
they went straight ahead at one point in the time with that van.
See, I don't know. I would want to been following them, being like, "Hey, is this like something like reliving like what you've done before?" But then I'd also be afraid, like, if I was to follow this, like, what's going to happen? Because you don't want to interact with it, right?
Yeah.
So these two, very, very short, but like hers, there were just comments on the video that I mentioned earlier where the girl thought she saw her dad at the grocery store. And these were just comments under that video. This one is, I used to work at Starbucks and had a customer who loved foxes. So one day I decided to draw one for her and gift it the next time she came through the drive-thru. She started crying and explained that she started coming in every day I worked because I looked like her late daughter, whose favorite animal was a fox. That's why she loved them so much, and I had gifted her the fox drawing, not knowing that day was her daughter's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought that was, I was going through and I was reading all those, and this was during my like meltdown, and I just kept crying and crying and crying. I was like, oh my God, this one's really sappy too. Not long after my Pat passed away, I was walking through the parking lot of his job, missing him, and a man dropped his wallet walking past me. I picked it up and said, "Excuse me, sir," and he turned to hand it to him. He was wearing a white t-shirt, suspenders, jeans, and sneakers, had a beard, and was wearing glasses, just like my Pat. I immediately got teary and handed him his wallet. He saw the tear roll down my cheek, and he thanked me and asked me if I was okay. I just told him that he reminded me of my pap and to have a good day. He reached out and hugged me and said, well, he told me to give you this and he misses you too. That man will truly never understand what that interaction meant to me. I know.
So I don't know, and I'm gonna cut this part out of it because I don't know that I necessarily want to put it in here. But last night / this morning, I had a dream about my dad passing away.
Oh.
And I wasn't there. All I know is I got a text message about it, and so I woke up crying.
Yeah.
Like I literally woke up crying. I feel like it's because on this, I think it's the 16th. It's the anniversary of my granny passing away.
Oh.
And he had to call me about it. That's the only thing I can think of because
It's
like
been a year?
Yeah. Because
Oh
it
my
happened when
God.
Will was still with us.
Oh my God.
And it was, I think, 2 days after Valentine's Day. Or because I think she went to the hospital on Valentine's Day.
What the fuck is time, bro?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. So, like, that's why I said I was just going to be in bed all day. Like, I
I'm
woke
so
up.
sorry.
Oh, no. It's fine. We needed to do this anyway. But yeah,
And not me wanting to ask you to go to TJ Maxx with me.
Oh, I'll go. Say less.
She said, get me out of this.
Get me out of this fucking house. But, like,
I was wanting to go look at makeup and makeup brushes again.
I'm over here like, oh my God. And you're like, bitch, let's go.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't know what triggered it. So I don't know.
You
but
probably had a lot of emotions going.
yeah,
through.
but I woke up this morning crying and I could remember reading the text message. Like it was one of those that felt so real.
Yeah.
Which I did have a text from him this saying good morning. So he's alive. But
Ain't nothing allowed to happen to Mr. Mark, okay? It's not allowed to happen.
yeah, it was like I woke up to the sound of me.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much. I have those dreams very often, but I think it's just because I worry and I stress too much about things. But you should know about this one. I specifically remember that I had one where in my dream, dad had passed. I think it was around a certain age. I think it was like 25 or something like that. And dad was just like, literally that whole year, because he didn't know if this was like an omen or like, you know, like a sign or something like that. And he was literally in the back of his brain, he was scared shitless that whole year. He's like, you just got to make it to the next birthday, Ashley, because according to your dream, I die at this age.
Yeah.
And it freaked him out. And so I've learned to keep my stories to myself. But yeah.
I think my favorite one, I think it might have, no, I think it was you. It was either you or your dad had this dream. And it was the one where he was like, well, it's time for y'all to start taking care of yourselves. And y'all were on a trip or something like that. I don't remember what, because in the dream, you guys.
No. It was me because it was my dad, myself, and John, I think. And we were all somewhere and dad just like up and dipped and just fucking left us. And I just remember John and I just like, what the fuck? Like, how are we supposed to get home? And dad's like, I don't know. It's up to you. You guys got to take care of yourself now. I felt so fucking betrayed and so angry. Because I'm like, okay, obviously, like, I'm an adult. Like, we can take care of ourselves. John and I would figure it the fuck out. But it's just the fact that my dad was just like, deuces. I'm going back home, wherever the fuck we were. I don't know. I was just like, how rude. Because that's not my dad. That's not my dad in any way, shape, or form. He is somebody that will always, always, always help you. And he was just like, bye.
He said, I'm tired of
I
this
was
shit.
so pissed. I woke up mad at him. I was like,
I mean, how many
no.
times have you woken up mad at me for falsities?
Yeah, literally just a few days ago. I was so mad at you too. I don't even remember what the dream was about now. What was it?
We were moving and we didn't tell you and we were...
This bitch, okay? Let me tell you. In my dream, I'm a very stressed, anxious person apparently because I'm always having dreams of people doing me wrong. And this one was her. And come to find out in my dream, she was moving and I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, we've already bought a house and we're moving to like South Carolina or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how many hours away is that? And she told me, and she's like, yeah, and here's the camper that we got for on the way up or on the way there and whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, well, fuck me, I guess. And then come to find out, also, my brother and my sister-in-law were moving with them and go live with them. And I was like, I'm fucking chopped liver? Like,
yes.
What the fuck do you mean? I woke up so pissed at her.
Oh, I heard it.
I was like, if you ever decide you're going to move and you don't tell me,
bitch, I literally moved to a whole new apartment. I moved to 2 new apartment complexes for her.
She did. So Stephen has to know if you were to ever move to like North Carolina or South Carolina, we're following. So it's our turn.
I don't think we'll move that far. One of my friends commented because one of the snow things that I posted. He goes, Florida's an option too, because we were talking about the snow, and I said, oh, Chris would never, because that means Disney and Universal.
Not only that, but it's fucking humid, bro. Mm-hmm. Hot and humid.
Yeah, but you bet your ass, if I lived near Orlando, I'd be having annual passes. I gotta go study.
She'd be an annual pass holder.
I'm gonna go to 3 broomsticks. I gotta study. Fuck it. I'm going to the fucking castle. See me in Bibbidi Bobbidi Boop. I'm going on Main Street.
The most expensive study date ever.
I don't give a fuck. Give me a fucking butterbeer.
You just need to work at one of them.
No, I could not do that.
Really? I don't think so.
I have all.
You think it would ruin it for you?
Yeah, I have all the respect in the world for cast members, because the audacity, just being a regular retail and service industry, I've seen some shit people. I know that those. I mean, cause
let me just go be one of the art, like the sidewalk art people that goes around and draws shit with the broom.
I would either want to do that or like a janitor or something like that. But like, you put me customer facing some of these people, because they feel like
they're gonna be getting a Ben and Jerry,
because they feel like they're the only people that deserve a magical vacation. Kudos to the cast members.
She'd be like, bippity bop, get the fuck out.
Bippity boppity band. Bippity boppity, fuck you.
They'd be coming up to her, Denisha, why do we have like 100 band people from just today?
Listen.
They bippity bopped and bound the fuck out. Yeah. That's what happened.
Let me catch you being rude to somebody. Let me catch you being rude.
She gonna be the
They make your magic. Don't ruin the fucking magic. Acting a damn fool.
What she said.
That was a side tangent. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. On that note, I don't want to stand up. Quit telling me what to do.
Stand up.
No.
Don't yell at me.
I'm yelling at my watch.
You yelled at me too. You said no.
No. My watch is telling me to stand up, and I don't want to. So.
This is gonna have so many side tangents. I'm leaving them all in.
That's fine.
So here's the clearest way to tell them apart. Is that where we're at? Are we there? Okay, cool. Doppelgängers are reflections of the self. They are symbolic, ominous, and often tied to fate, illness, or death.
Mimics are predators. They imitate others to manipulate, lure, and deceive.
One is about who you are, and the other is about who you trust.
And maybe that's why both are so deeply terrifying, because they attack 2 very different
vulnerabilities.
And maybe that's why both are so deeply terrifying, because they attack 2 very different vulnerabilities.
Seeing yourself from the outside, or realizing the voice you trusted doesn't belong to anyone at all.
Either way, once you've had that experience, people say you never forget it.
Which one do you think is scarier? Seeing yourself, or hearing someone you love when no one is there?
What do y'all think? Which one would you be more scared of? You know our answers.
Yeah, so let us know your answers.
Absolutely. Also, if you have any stories of doppelgangers or mimics, or just spooky, scary stories in general, and that you want to send it to us, send it to the Afterlife Hotline at gmail.com.
Even if you don't specifically have something, but you've seen something on TikTok or Instagram that you think we'd be interested in, feel free to DM us at the Afterlife Hotline.
Absolutely. Also, feel free, if you would like, to follow us on our social medias. We got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify,
Substack.
Substack.
I gotta get back on
anywhere
that.
you get your podcasts. Yeah,
you can find us.
you can find us. Listen to us yourself or share us with friends and family if you would like to.
And if you have any horror movie recommendations or horror books, I'm looking for some more. So go ahead and put those below too.
Yeah, what she said. Oh, there's one on Netflix that I saw. It's The Cabin.
Ooh.
I think it's new on Netflix. It looked pretty interesting.
I'll have to put that on my list.
So,
I need to finish Welcome to Derry. I've got like 2 episodes left.
ooh.
But it's getting to a racial point. Those things irritate me.
Oh,
I mean, I get it for the time frame that it's in, so it makes sense. It's not just like randomly put in there, but I'm also just
Yeah.
like,
like, that's not nice. But anyway, we will catch you on next time, and don't forget,
keep one foot in the living world.
and one ear on the line. Bye.